Hold up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of LinkedTalk. Today's topic is all about self-growth and development. I'm pleased to be joined with Ghita Drissi Touzani, an engineer, entrepreneur, and mentor from Canada. She is joining us today, and I'm pleased to welcome her. Hi, Ghita. How are you today?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking the time to join me today. The topic today it's exciting topic that talks about self-growth and development, and I'm pleased to have you in my podcast, and hope you will be enjoying this podcast, and of course we will be enjoying as well having your input, your ideas, your expertise, and thank you for taking the time.
Thanks to you.
So the first question, Rita, what is the process of self-growth and development? Because many individuals, if you notice lately, especially with the lockdown, everyone started rushing to doing some online courses, some personal development plans, and all it came all of a sudden. It was like a race. But what is the process of a successful self-growth and development?
So, first, I would say, what is personal development? So, the definition, it's a set of skills that we acquire over time in order to become a better version of ourselves. It can affect different areas of our life. It doesn't have to be only professional. It can be really like in anything. And it takes a lot of investment in terms of time. Sometimes money as well, but mostly time investment. We need to be committed in order to achieve the goals we set to ourselves. So the process, I divide it into 5 steps. First, read. Read in the areas of your life where you want to improve. It doesn't have to be academical, as I said. It could be anything. It could be financial literacy. It could be how to master a certain skill, like public speaking. Just and if you don't know what you want to improve in life, well, there are personal development books who talk just in general about personal development that I can recommend if people reach out to me directly. Knowledge is power. Get the knowledge you need. Put yourself in the mindset of that person who has been there, who has been through that process. Second, I would say set specific goals. When I say specific, I really mean it. If you've never touched a piano before, saying, oh, I just want to learn the piano, or I want to master the piano, it's not enough. It's not specific. It's not measurable. I would rather say, I want to play X song at the piano. I want to have 10% return on my investment per year. I want to have business conversation with a potential client. I want to develop that X craft in order to make some side money. I hope it's clear. So make it specific, and then find the resources that will help you to reach that goal. The resources mostly, seriously, you can find it on internet for free. If then you would like to add some kind of academic or certificate to your background, then yes, of course, you'll have to maybe subscribe to an online course. But a lot of information, we can find it on internet for free, on YouTube, on apps you can download on your phone, on many things. And then I think this is the most important part. Define how much time per day you're willing to invest into achieving this goal. I would say make it realistic here, because a lot of people, they're super motivated at the start, and they were like, oh my god, I can do it, I can put an hour, 2 hours a day, and then after 2 weeks they're like, oh no, I don't have time. If you can make 15 minutes a day and commit to it for a long period of time, which means months and years, well, it's already better than put in 2 hours a day for 2 weeks and then drop it. Finally, I would say measure the progress over time, and then redefine, master, and go to the next one.
Perfect. The issue here that many people face in personal development is that they don't know when and how to start, because they start, for example, I will start with X skill or X development plan, but they started working on something which is, between brackets, irrelevant, or something that they don't really need. How can we design a plan or personal development plan that will address the key, the area of the development or weaknesses, so they can really have an impact in their, for example, professional or personal life? What are the tools that they can use in order to make sure that the skill or the plan that they will be designing, it will be so relevant to them?
Seriously, one of the most common mistakes I see out there is people going for not what they want, but what they think the industry wants.
Mm-hmm.
So your example is very relevant because a friend of mine, after graduating business school, she was so excited. Um, she landed a job in a bank, and and then she was done with school. She was happy to start working, new professional career. And after 2 months, I met her and she was studying for her CFA. And I was like, hey, I thought you didn't like to study. I thought you were happy. She's like, no, I need to do this. So she spent weekends for a year studying for that exam because it's a big exam, and she failed ultimately. And then she started again for another year, but then she abandoned in the middle of the process because then she realized it wasn't what she wanted. She just felt the pressure because everybody around her, her new colleagues, were doing that exam and she needed to do it as well. So really, it's very important. The reason why I said read about what you want is, first, if you take the time to ask yourself the right question at the beginning, you will save way more time during the process, because then you will go for what you want and not for what you think is going to make you
Yes.
shine, or what the industry wants.
How self-growth can change a person's life from your point of view?
Well, here I would like to use the example of my husband.
Okay.
So both him and I were engineers. I'm mostly business and process development focused. He is more technical. So in a matter of few years, he went from an engineer, regular engineer working for a big corporation, to a worldwide high-end consultant. He is known for his craft, and like he travels everywhere. He's independent as well. So how did he get there? How come a regular engineer working for a corporation, there are so many millions out there, how do you become one of the best? First, you got to be passionate. Seriously, like that's first. Then committed. He is committed to every task, every mandate he undertakes. He takes it really seriously. He wants to perform at his best for everything he does. And each year, so third, each year he sets up goals, professional goals for himself. And every single day, he would put half an hour to an hour to achieve those goals. Uh, it's if he can't make it, because like, I mean, it sounds so perfect. Life happens. Sometimes you can't, but he will make sure, like during the weekend, he will put that extra half an hour that he didn't put on another day, and he would just goes on. He would just go on with that. And finally, he invests in himself. So whenever there's a training, seminar, lately he had to buy a very expensive software, but because he really thought it was very important for him to learn it, well, he did it. As I said, it takes time investment, but sometimes it's going to take money investment. But the money you invest in yourself really is something that nobody can take out from you. So it's the
True.
better investment you can make. Those little actions, when they're repeated over time, will draw the line between good and awesome. And this will unlock opportunities.
Correct. Uh, there is one issue that we often see. There are many people who focus on continuous development or personal development and fail to recognize their achievements. So what is the best way to balance between self-acceptance and personal growth? Because we try to motivate ourselves by being hard on ourselves, by pushing ourselves and not recognizing our achievements. Sometimes you achieved a lot, but at the end you often underestimate your achievements and you get demotivated, which comes as a negative impact on your personal development plan. So what's your input about that?
This is mainly due because people tend to compare themselves to others. Personal development is as we say, it's a personal journey. It comes from within, and it comes from our life experiences. So I would say to those people, the only scale that should be used is the one that compares us to us at different point of time. If we compare our chapter 1 to somebody else chapter 15, of course we're going to be discouraged. So it's very important to really focus on what matters, and and compare ourselves to ourselves at different point of time. And if we're improving, well, that's the entire goal of the process. It's a journey. It's a
I've been doing lately an experiment, and I asked all my friends and colleagues whether they deserve better. I mean, in terms of position, in terms of job, extra. And almost everyone said yes. But when I asked a follow-up question about what are you doing about that? Like, for example, yes, you deserve best, but what are you doing now in order to achieve what you really think that you deserve? They all said that they give up. They have just went to comfort zone because they hard, tried hard, tried hard for many months or many years, but they failed to achieve the goal. So they just tend and agree and accepted being in comfort zone, and so they failed in achieving the goal. So they just accepted the comfort zone as a reality. What's your advice to people who usually fail to achieving their goals or achieving their personal development plan? So what is the key to accept that and how to overcome it?
Well, I would say Einstein once said, insanity is keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So if really somebody tried for a long period of time, he was consistent and he followed all the steps I just mentioned before, and really it doesn't work, you must ask yourself, maybe there is another way. Maybe what I'm doing, there's just a key thing missing that will unlock everything. And I truly believe there is a momentum. When you look at just big corporations, sometimes it takes years, like 10 years, for them before getting that momentum and it kicks in. So really giving up is a choice, but what if you just continue? You don't know. The hardest part about success in general, not just personal development, is you don't know when it's gonna come. You have to work for it until it comes, but you don't know how far it is, so you just have to keep pushing.
True.
Now the thing is, when we do it and we do it for a long period of time and we get discouraged because we've been doing it the same way over and over again, this is where personal development can help, because when we read, knowledge is power, as I said, and when you read, you put yourself in that mindset and then you take actions. Actions are what creates experience, and experience is the ability to connect the dot. So if you get knowledge in there, and then you start connecting the dot, maybe you'll find a path that you didn't know it existed before. So I would really encourage people to just develop as many skills as they can. It won't hurt you if it doesn't serve you. I am currently learning Russian.
Спасибо. Хорошо.
Хорошо. Как дела? So yes, I'm currently learning Russian, and I invest 15 minutes a day. Russian lesson, 15 minutes a day, and I've been doing that for years. Am I perfectly fluent? No. Is that could I have been? Sure, but I'm improving so many things at the same time. So I'm okay with where I am. I can read, I can understand some stuff that I couldn't before. So I'm happy with the progress I made. Even though it's a small one, I know that if I continue, I'll make it to where I want to where I want to. So yeah, just keep on going. That would be my first advice. And motivation is plateaued. So there is a curve. Well, I wish I could have a pen right now to draw.
Yes.
But the way I see motivation is really like it goes up and then this way, and you have a plateau. And then if you continue and you keep being consistent, that plateau is going to go up again. And then you're going to get another plateau. But most people, what they do, they are motivated. And then when they reach that plateau, they just drop and it goes like this. So if you go through that plateau, and there are ways to go through it. As I said, avoid distraction. All those social media things, they're time consuming. Then we feel we don't have time. Like if you spend a lot of time on Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, Instagram, whatever, if it's take a lot of your time that you're not spending doing something that will really matter to you after. So don't let distraction come your way.
Perfect. So, Rita, should we involve others in our personal development plan?
Well, it depends. Some feedback are good and some feedback is not. So we have to be able to screen that feedback. If you have the ability to have a mindset that is strong enough to receive feedback and be able to screen it, that of course you should. If you're not there yet, I would say first start on your own and then receive feedback whenever you're ready for it.
Perfect. I think we have done with our questions. Thank you so much, Ghita, for taking the time. It was such a pleasure to have you in this podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Sama. I hope to see you soon.
Hold up.